hips. So grabbing your props if you're using them. So if you're more flexible, you won't need to sit up on anything, but if you're, I'll just show you how tight my hips are. Look at that. When I sit cross legs, my knees are right up in the air. Didn't used to be, just because I'm old. So we're going to come on, sit a bit higher. If your knees are high, sit up on your books or props and notice the knees go down. And that means you can have more of a straight back. So just have a feel of your back. Are you able to draw in on the low back and sit up straight? If not, take a bit more height. Fantastic. So just to begin, we're going to have a gentle hip opener here with the legs loosely crossed. So got some tricks which you probably know, but I'll just repeat. I'm going to bring your right hand to the left inner thigh, fingers pointing down. Right hand on the outer left thigh, and grabbing hold of your thigh muscle, you're going to roll the whole thing in and broaden that thigh muscle out to the left. Good. And then the second side. So bringing the left hand to the inner right thigh, right hand to the outer right thigh, left thigh, sorry. And then we're going to move the whole thing round, so really rotating that thigh muscle out to the side. Good. And then just kind of flex the feet a bit. See if you can get the soles of the feet pointing more towards the sides of the mat. And you can feel this broadening in the bowl of the pelvis. Just imagine you're just widening a little here in the hips. Thank you. From here, may I invite you to bring the hands forward at the cross of the legs, walking the hands away, and just bow your head. Very nice. Just walking the hands a little further forward, keeping the hips heavy on the props, just feeling a bit of a stretch happening. Welcome, Amanda. I think that was you that joined us. Lovely to see you. Hello, my dear. Welcome. Thank you. And then we're going to walk the hands back. Excellent. All right, let's bring the right hand to the left knee. Bring the left hand behind you. And just pushing the fingertips into the ground a little bit. Sit up tall and get heavy through the hips. Nice. And then sitting up tall, spiral round. And see if we can just gently look over the left shoulder. Not too much to start with, just a little exploratory twist. And inhale to center. Shoulders up to the ears and relax the shoulders down. Good. Take the second side. So take the fingertips behind you. Left hand to the right knee. Drawing in, sitting up and spiraling round. Looking over the shoulders. Marvelous. And then we'll come back to center. Take the shoulders up to the ears. And on the next exhale, just relax them down. Good. Well done. Let's come to hands and knees and get that spine moving a little bit today. Moving the props aside for now. Banging out the fingers and then just taking your time, lifting the tailbone and the chest to look up. And on the exhale, bow the head and tuck the tail between the legs. Lovely. Inhale, tailbone up, looking up, chest up. Exhaling, tuck the tail under. One more time. On the in-breath, curling up. And on the out-breath, bowing the head. Very nice. Let's come to a bit of a flat back and just to warm up the shoulders this evening. And I invite you to raise the left arm, look up towards the hand, and we'll take a breath. Threading the arm through, come all the way down onto left shoulder, left side of the head. And just getting into a good place, if you want, you can raise the other hand and wrap it round the corner to the opposite leg, just to accentuate things a bit. Just finding your version. And then we'll come back, 2 hands and knees. Marvellous. Circle the shoulders. And when you're ready, we're going to raise the right hand, looking up towards the fingertips. Take a breath. And threading the right arm through. Come all the way down onto the side of the head and the right shoulder. Good. Raising the left arm. Wrapping the hands round the corner. Getting a bit of a twist happening. Hands nice. And then come back to all fours. And let's have a bit of a circle and a shrug of the shoulders, a bit of a wiggle of the hips. We're really just woken up those joints, and then we're going to come to our first down dog. So lifting the hips up and back, keeping the knees a little bit bent, lift your bottom a bit higher, pushing the floor away, getting a nice stretch, lengthening in the side body, moving the inner thighs back. That's it. Just taking some slow, deep breaths. And may I invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale loudly through the mouth. Good, let's do that again. Inhale nose. Take a big sigh as you exhale. One more time if you're enjoying that. Good, I quite like that. Let's walk the feet towards the hands. Come up onto fingertips or just let the hands dangle, relaxing the head. We'll just pause here in a standing forward bend and let the weight of the head release your neck. Great stuff. Relaxing your mouth and your jaw. And relaxing your toes. Get the weight more back into the heels. Very nice. So we're going to do a little one when we come up halfway. So the hands can be on the ground if that's easy, or on the shins. Unlocking the knees, come halfway up. And on your exhale, bow once more. Good. 2 more times. Inhale, extend. Exhaling, bow. Inhale, extend. Exhaling, bow. And then on the in-breath, we'll sweep the arms overhead all the way to the sky. And bring the hands home to the heart. Deep breath in. Mountain pose. Good. Give the shoulders a shrug. Getting heavy through the feet. Just pause for a moment. Please strengthen the legs a little. Grow a little taller. Extend the fingertips towards the ground. We'll take a couple of breaths through the nose. Wonderful. On the next inhale, reach up overhead with the hands. And on the exhale, sweep down to a forward bend. Beautiful. Inhale halfway. Exhale, bow. And then on the in-breath, rise up, reaching the arms overhead. Palms together. Exhale, bring the hands home to the heart. Take a deep breath in. Mountain pose. Lovely. Inhale, rise. Sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, bow and fold. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale to bow. With the right foot forward, please set the left leg back into that deep lunge. Wonderful. We're going to bring the back knee down. So get the back knee comfortable on the ground. And please bring the hands round to the left side of your mat. That's good. So if you find that hard, please take a block. And what we're going to do is the lizard. So I think you all know this one. This is where you thread your left hand round the back. Sorry, thread the right hand round the back of the right foot. And then see if you can get your hand on the little toe side. So you're kind of going around the back of your shin with the hand. That's it, you've got it. You're going to have a hand on the ground or on a block, whatever's best for you. and then plant the left hand. So you've got like a foot of the hand, and that's what we're going to lean on. We're going to bring up the back knee. Ooh, we're going to get quite a good hip stretch. If it's all too much, just bring the back knee down again. So that goes for everything that we do, really. If I've gone too far, just go back a step. So just taking a moment, just seeing what's happening in the web of muscles in the hips. If we can widen the inner thighs. See if you can move your hips, sway them gently to the right a little bit. Whoa, really getting an opening now, that's good. Take a breath. And then bringing the back knee down. Just bring both knees down. Fantastic. And changing sides by bringing the left foot forward, and you've got the hands on the right side, over to the right side of the mat. We're going to be going a bit off the mat today, so just to warn you. So getting comfortable, and then when you're ready, to take the left hand to the left heel, and then round behind the ankle, so your thumb is next to the little toe, either on the block or on the ground. Perfect. And then if you want some more, pick up the back knee. So that does make it quite a lot harder. So getting into a good place. And stretch. So broaden the inner thighs, broaden the thigh muscles, broaden the hips. Very good. Taking a moment just to think of getting wider there. Beautiful. And then we'll bring both knees to the ground. Lift your tailbone, lift your chest. And shift the hips back to the heels. We're going to pause in child's pose for a moment. Just letting that settle. Marvellous. Coming up to seated. So we're going to bring the hands behind us. And lift your hips to stretch out your thigh muscles. Very good. Looking down towards your knees. And then hips to heels. Bring the hands towards the top of the mat, back to all fours again, and tucking the toes. Get ready, fan out the fingers for your second down dog. So lifting the hips up and back. Just keep the knees a little bit bent and move the inner thighs a bit higher. Pushing the floor away, lengthening the sides of the waist. Take some breath. Sealing the mouth, maybe dropping into your Ujjayi breathing if you like that one. Good, and then walk the feet to the hands. Take a forward bend. Fabulous. On the in-breath, come up halfway. On the exhale, back. On the inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. And we'll bring the hands home to the heart. Lovely. Deep breath in. Come back to your mountain pose. And just with the feet really soft, relax your feet into the ground. Just firm the legs a little bit more. Good. Grow tall through the crown of the head. And then we're going to bring up the arms, roll the shoulders down. Take the right wrist, and we're going to go for a little sway to the left, bending the left knee. And to center, let's change hands, bend the right knee as you sway to the right. Inhale to center, big stretch up, reaching up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Releasing the hands, good. And again, sweep up the arms in a big circle if you have room. And on the out breath, dive down to your forward bend. Coming halfway up, inhaling. Exhaling, bow. And we'll step the left leg back again. So you've got that front knee over the heel. I'm going to come up to a little bit of balance. Good. So hugging the midline, hug the thigh bones together. Good. So squeeze widthways towards the center. Then I'm going to say, Squeeze lengthways as well towards the centre. Ooh. So squeezing the front foot towards the back foot without moving it. Squeezing in both directions. Sweep up the arms. Fantastic. Take a breath. And planting the hands on the floor. Let's change legs. Good. Coming up when you're ready. Let's just try that on the second side. So it's a balancing high lunge that we do all the time. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other widthways, and squeeze the legs together lengthways. So almost as if you're trying, your feet are stuck to the ground, you're trying to move them towards each other. Sweep up the arms. Very good. Take a breath. We're going to step back to a high plank, if you like, or all fours if you don't like to plank. Very good. Let's come down. Knees first, elbows close, all the way to your tummy. And go ahead and lengthen through the legs. Curl up for a cobra. Roll the shoulders down. Taking a breath. And we're all going to meet in downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Take 3 long breaths. Maybe Ujjayi breaths. Lifting the hips a bit higher, pushing the floor away. We'll gently release the heels towards the ground. Very nice. Take your time, and then walking to the top of the mat, we'll meet in a forward bend. Very good. On the in-breath, come halfway up. Exhaling bow. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Mountain pose. Well done. Let's set the feet really wide. So getting a nice wide stance. Fantastic. We'll take the whole of the left foot out, bend that knee to a square. And if you've been coming the last few weeks, you'll remember this. Move the inner thighs back, scoop under the front hip, and float up the arms for warrior. And then I'm going to ask you to just change it a little bit by hugging feet towards each other in this position. So you don't move them, you just squeeze the left heel towards the arch of the back foot, and the back foot towards the front foot. Nice, nice long neck. Scooping under with the front hip, and turn your gaze to your middle finger for warrior 2. Brilliant. Let's take a breath here. And then straightening that left knee. Turn the whole of the left foot in and the right foot out. Same thing, second side. So we're kind of, I'm glad it's you guys, because I know I've seen most of you last week when we did this thing. Take the inner thighs back, scooping under the right hip. Remember how that puts on our power pants, as we were calling them. And then squeeze, on top of that, squeeze the feet towards the midline. Ooh, you can feel a little bit more core happening, a bit more action in the pelvis. Excellent, a little bit more clearing in that bowl of the hips. Coming to your best warrior 2. Take a breath with everything engaged. Very nice. And then we're going to bring the feet to parallel, hands to the hips. So we're going for a wide legged forward bend. So if you don't like to touch the ground, if it feels a long way away, it might be helpful to have your blocks or books. All right, so take a breath. Hinge at the hips and just bring those fingertips to the ground or onto your blocks if the ground is elusive. Lining up the feet, relax the toes. We want the weight in the balls of the feet and the heels rather than in the toes. Good. Keeping the knees unlocked. So one of my teachers always says, keep your knees unlocked for the rest of your life, which I think is actually very good advice, especially for some people like me who've got these super flexible joints. I would have been a right mess if I hadn't known about that at an early age. So let's bring the hands to the ground or the blocks. I'm going to walk them away. So this is probably off the mat towards onto the carpet. Sorry about that, team. Taking the hands away, like as if you're going to do downward dog with the feet really wide. That's it. So find a good place. That's not too much. Excellent. A little bit of unlocking in the knees, please. Because we're going to move the inner thighs back. Wow. Ooh, feel that. Yes. Widening in the hips. Good. Moving, making some space between the sit bones. That's great. Breathing into the space we're creating in the hips. So therapeutic to release this area on many levels. It's very connected with our second chakra. That's good. So we're going to walk the hands back. So they're back, just gently coming back. And let's take the whole of the left foot out again. Go back to those warrior feet. Bend that left knee over the heels. And we're going to take the hands to about 2 o'clock, if I've got that right. So downward dog hands are kind of diagonal off the mat. And this is same kind of thing we've just done. All right, arranging the knee over the heel, keeping the weight in the heels and the balls of the feet. Now move the inner thighs diagonally back, pushing the floor away. Yeah, good. Widening in this position. So you should be getting quite a strong sensation in the upper inner thighs, but your knees should be feeling perfectly happy. So any pain in the knees, we always stop what we're doing straight away. The knees can be very delicate, but if it's getting you in the inner thighs, that's probably the best place. That can be really healing, if not terribly comfortable. Okay, let's walk the hands back to center. I'm going to turn the left foot in and the right foot out. And bringing the hands to 10 o'clock or something like that. On blocks, if you're having any problems, get the dictionaries out. Okay, when we're in position, feet at right angles to one another, weight back in the heels, broaden the inner thighs, yeah, widen the hips. You can push the floor away to accentuate that action in the hips. It's going to feel yummy after this, it really is. I've been doing this in my practice, as most of you know, my hips are a state. Not from too much yoga, might add. Just it's a genetic thing. Big stretch here, and then we'll turn the toes so they're both sets of toes pointing the same direction. Walk the hands back in between the feet and bow the head. Very nice. The shoulders a shrug and head a shake. And then rooting down through the feet, please bend the knees some more to come up. And release the shoulders. Good. Let's set the feet together and just walk that out. Ooh, can you feel that? I can. All right. So a bit of standing on one leg for you. So taking the right hand to the wall if you need to. Make the right leg the standing leg. I'm just going to lift up the left knee. Take it out to the left. Kind of diagonally out to the left. And if you're able to, bring the hand on the inside of the knee and take hold of the ankle. So we've got the sole of the foot turning towards the ground. If you're more flexible, you might be able to take hold of the little toe side of your foot with your hand, keeping the sole pointing towards the ground and the knee is kind of halfway out to the side. And then we're going to push the foot into the hand. Ooh. Kind of pull the foot with your hands. You've got this push you pull you thing with the hand and the foot. Yeah, give it a little bit of a oomph. If you're balancing, great. If not, just tap your finger to the wall. Yeah, take a breath. And release. Fantastic. So, I don't know about you, but that left hip like that one. So we're going to come to the second side. So balancing on the left leg, take the right knee out to the right, drop the arm on the inside of the knee, hold the ankle while you kind of get the idea of the sole of the foot being horizontal. So you can also imagine you're pressing into a big step and you get the same results. But if you're more flexible, take hold of the foot with your hand. Yeah, push the foot into the imaginary step, or pull it with your hand. Any kind of action like that would be fantastic. Yeah. Can we balance and do that? Now that's tricky. Oh, I'm gone. Keep breathing. And relax. Amazing. Let's just walk that out for a moment. How are you feeling? Ooh, good. All right, let's make our way to seated. And those of you who were here last night, you'll know this one. We're going to put a brick or a block or a book between the soles of the feet. Now, if you didn't get that message about the book, don't worry, just bring the soles of the feet together. It's not essential. But if you'll notice, I've got quite a big diamond shape. So there's like a square between the shins and the thigh bone. So it's not the one where the feet are really close to the bodies. This is a different one. We call this one the omega pose. So getting into position, whatever you're going to do, let's use the hands to move the fascia of the body again. So very effective. A little bit of massage, just inner thighs, going to roll out to the side. So use your hands to help you, both sides. Do it a couple of times. And then pressing the feet into the hands. If your hips are more stiff, if you usually have to sit on something, let's bring our hands behind us. So that's me. If you're more flexible, like Juliana, you can bring the hands forward. Yeah, so if you usually can sit on the ground, cross legs without that block at the beginning, you'll be your hands forward person. You're sitting up on a block for cross legs, hands behind you. And there's no judgment there. It's actually nothing to do with how much yoga you've done or how good a person you are or how enlightened. It's simply the design of the ball and socket joint in your hips. Some people have a shallower cup, so just letting go of any attachment. You will get more out of it if you've got your hands behind you, if you're tight. And if you've got your hands forward, just bring your forehead towards the feet as well. Oh, wow, Janet, you're so bendy. That's amazing. I have to think of some good difficult ones for you for next week. Very good, Liz. Just move our head down. Thank you, everyone. So just gentle pressure, the feet are pressing together into the block or into each other. Ooh, yes. Give it another breath. And release. Thank you. So extending the legs. Can I invite you to just circle the ankles a bit? Releasing any tension. And then walking your bottom back. So just inchworm, we sometimes call it. So walk the sit bones back a few inches. And then you're going to bring the sole of your left foot in towards the inner thigh. If you need to, or if you just want to, put your brick or block under the knee. And we'll bring the hands either side of the right leg. Fantastic. So this is one you could bring the heel a bit closer up into your groin. And if you're very bendy, you can bring that left heel into the left crease, the left groin. So just take it up as high as you want to, depending on your body type. For me, the middle of my thigh is about right because I'm a bit tight there. And then wherever you are, we'll take a breath and a fold. Bowing the head, breathing your way down. Lovely. So just observing your breath. Some slow, deep Ujjayi breaths. Working with the hips, we're working with our water element, obviously our water works, and also the second chakra of the body, Svadhisthana, element water. It's very associated with our creativity and our emotional life, freeing up the tension or sluggishness in the hip area, and sometimes liberate us emotionally as well. Just breathing into any feelings or sensations, any emotions or thoughts which are arising. Just breathing into the release. That's good. So we're going to very slowly and carefully change legs. So moving into slow motion now. Yes, cradling that left knee straight and the left leg. And drawing up the sole of the right foot. Propping it up if you wish. Taking that right heel somewhere that suits you. So it could be really near the knee. Or if you're more bendy, it goes further up the inner thigh, maybe even to its own groin, to the right heel to the right groin, whatever works for you. And if you've gone too far, just back off a bit. Great. Walk the bottom back an inch, hands either side of the straight leg, and we'll take a breath. And fold down the other leg. That's lovely. And if it helps you just to get an image of a body of water in your mind. So this could be a flowing stream or the sea. Or, I mean, at least 3 of you came to the waterfall, didn't you, this time last year? So you might want to bring the image of our lovely retreat centre waterfall that we went swimming in last summer. Using the power of your mind. Imagine the sound of running water. Letting the element water flush out any tension in the hips, any blockages in your creativity, allowing your emotions to flow freely through your mind. That's lovely. We're going to straighten both legs now. Walk the hips back. And flexing the feet. Take a seated forward bend of your choice. So it doesn't matter if you touch the toes or not. Imagine your feet are pressing into a wall is quite a good one to get the alignment right. Slip a hand under each thigh muscle to move the hips back a smidgen. And when you're ready, fold your nose towards your knees. Observe the breathing. We'll take some long, slow breaths. We're coming to the final part of our practice. Just letting some slow breaths lead you down into a more relaxing place. Great. Inhaling into your mouth. Thank you. Please make your way to lying down. All right, we're going to cuddle the knees in and just do some rocks from side to side. Just the last few moments of our practice. Dropping the knees over to the ground on the left. Take a lying down twist. That's good. Just taking another couple of breaths here. And then swinging the knees to the opposite side. Relaxing into the shape. You're nearly there, just closing it down, taking a few cool down poses. Let's come back to center. With both feet on the ground, please bring your left ankle onto the right knee. We're going to thread the needle. So I think you know that one where you gather up the back of your underneath thigh. And how about straightening that leg for this variation today? Spread out the toes. So for me, I go a really good stretch right in my glute when I do that one. Notice the difference between doing it with toes relaxed and then activate the toes. Ooh. Yeah. It's very good. Just taking another breath and we'll change legs. Nearly there, second side. Crossing the right ankle onto the left knee. Same thing. Pull the underneath thigh. Straighten the underneath leg if you want. That's one of those ones which is just a cherry on the top. You don't have to. If it's too much, back off the step. And sometimes one side is different to the other as well. Giving it a few moments. Brilliant. Both feet to the ground. Let's bring the soles of the feet to meet each other. If you did happen to have a couple of blocks, you could put them under your thigh bones or those couple of thick hooks. You can prop up your hips like that, but then we're going to bring the hands onto the lower part of your tummy, going into a straight line. Bringing your mind to this straight line, soles of the feet, navel, the breastbone, the tip of the nose, the forehead, the crown of the head. Just breathing into the hands. Just give yourself just a gentle pressure between the soles of the feet. Notice how that changes it. Nose breathing. Take a couple more breaths here. Well done. Please bring the knees together and the feet to the ground. Thank you, everyone. It's a very good practice. Let's roll over onto your side and take a bit of a rest on your right side, if you will. And we'll push ourselves up to seated. And take a comfortable seat. Thank you for your time and your energy. We'll be doing more hips tomorrow. If you enjoyed that one and it was helpful, it will be a similar sequence but a bit longer tomorrow. So thank you and namaste. I'm going to allow yourself, you'll be able to unmute yourself in a minute if you want to say anything, or if you want to just